Okay, welcome back. We're still at the Keep of the Borderlands. We're going to do another follow-up quest. This one's going to take us into a little bugbear cave. So, as you probably remember from the previous video, I'd always recommend people not to pick up every single quest. You can do that if you want to, but this next one we're going to grab is going to be from her. And let's go see what we got going. This is another level 1 zone quest. You can do it the first time to get used to the layout, and once you've done it once, then go ahead and do it at a more difficult level to match up your skill level, which is a lot more fun, and you'll get better loot. And so you're looking for like an armor upgrade. You really want to try to get this armor class number up, and you could reset the zone if it hadn't been reset. We're just going to jump in here normally. Not going to summon a hireling until we get to the instance. And we're going to head over here toward this zone called, part of the zone, the outdoor wilderness area called the Caves of Chaos. And this is the quest we just picked up. The last video we did the treasure with the Minotaur twice, and we're going to run through this bugbear twice as well, caves as well twice to see what kind of loot upgrades we get. So let's just zip over there real quick. Now, the one thing you notice is if you ever played the original module years ago when it came out for Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, how many of the Gygax stuff had the similar kind of pattern. There'd be guards in the first few rooms, there'll be prisoners, ultimately there'll be like a chief or a chieftain. They'll always have like a treasure room with traps. They're pretty straightforward. In DDO, they have a couple of mechanics you'd never see in the original pen and paper because there's no real effective dungeon master, where they're using like silver keys, gold keys, hitting switches with gem markers over the doorways. So that's going to be the only real differentiation between the original adventures that you saw played when you were a kid in B1 to Keep on the Borderlands than this type of instance here. I found these things to be a lot of fun. Like one of the things you can do that's really entertaining is like go learn the instance first on the introductory level and then start playing on harder and harder levels, which will make you really play your class a lot better than you would just cakewalking through everything. This is the treasury entrance from before. This time we're going to zip across these boardwalks, rickety bridge to get to the entrance to this one, which you can see here on your map. And we haven't run this one with this character, so let's see what happens here. Now we're able to run it at harder difficulties because we've run it with other characters. Instead of you having to watch me play it twice, I'm going to go ahead and put it on elite level, which is 3, and we'll use our cleric NPC once we get inside. And let's get her going. Let's do Illyri. Put her on aggro.
As you walk deeper into the cave, you hear deep, guttural voices in the distance.
From a consistent level design language, you're always going to see, this is a locked door with a big bar on a lock on it. You're going to need a key. It's not going to be one of these, green, yellow, blue markers. Whereas this, red and blue, you can't open this. Now we're playing this at level 3, so it's going to be the same level as us. So we can't really, dork around. We got to at least be intelligent. There'll be more monsters than normal. When you play this on level 1, the normal skill level, there's only like 2 enemies in here. And the Dungeon Master's giving us a tip here. There's a key here. This one's interesting because you're starting to get to a point where if you're playing at the difficulty level that matches your level, you have like this red and blue door. You're not going to open this much, much later, and you're going to be going down passageways and completing a wing and then reversing, coming back out and going doing the other wing, and then you're going to open another wing. And so you're going to have to kind of keep mental track of where you are as you learn to use your map on this one. And like you heard me mention before, you'll find that a lot of times these enemies, they're going to be running around, wigging out, flipping out all over the place on you. So she could do Cure Moderate Wounds. She can do Command. She can do Cleric Divine Vitality. Let's see what that will do for us. That's a spell point booster. And what's this one here? This is Remove Paralysis. So she doesn't have a Cure Light Wounds, so we're not really that damaged. We're going to chance our arm now and not take a potion. There's another keyed door. The key we got, will it open it? No.
Key is embossed on this surprisingly well-crafted lock.
If the Dungeon Master's chatting kind of blanks out on you, you can always see the top. It'll tell you what the objective, like find the silver key. We already found one key, so hopefully we'll get to use this down here.
The smell of meat cooking wafts tantalizingly down the corridor. silver in the far corner of this
Silver
chamber.
key. This is going to be one of the switches that we need for the main door, the main corridor.
As the first lever is pulled,
You'll
the
see a lot of
crystal
times they
above it
have these
flares into life.
pile of rubble, adventure packs, you know, different elements on the ground that aren't a chest. And when you get an item from it, it's like you obtain a sweet cap. And so these are part of a crafting system. And it tells you are a hand-in system where you collect like 10 things, hand it into an NPC. If you just mouse over it, it'll tell you like this one, you hand this into an NPC in the harbor. I'm not going to, you know, crush all the crushables or destructible items. That's something that some people love to do. You usually just get potions and gems out of them. Now we had a silver key from before, door from before. Let's get this cracked open.
As the silver lock clicks open, you hear the muffled voices of bugbears.
And even though I'm kind of just soloing these guys and letting her handle the other stuff, I want to keep an eye on her health. She will, the NPC hirelings, they will heal themselves, but sometimes they can get overwhelmed because a lot of times the mobs will completely surround them. Okay, so we can go left or go right. Let's go left. Okay, we're not a thief, but we do have some decent search skills. Let's go ahead and do a quick search here. Okay, got a hidden secret door here. Okay, what do we got down here? Okay, cave bears. So there's 2 Borderlands cave bears in here. You need to get enough line of sight to actually hit them. On normal, there's only 2. And if you're a big old school MMO player, you know the value of focus firing, right? So if your NPC decides to stick on something, do the same thing. You'll see these throughout the whole world too, these like different mushrooms, and it's going to be more crafting ingredients. They'll suck up your inventory pretty quick. You'll go through an adventure and you'll have like 20 different crafting ingredients. If you're not focusing on it right now, it's probably not that fun to collect them all. But if you were a real pack rat, grab them and throw them in your bank.
Huddled humans dressed in rags flinch away from the door as you open it.
So these guys don't pick up and run away. It just kind of implies that you've rescued them. And once you rescue one of them or interact with one of them, it's going to give you this optional free all the slaves. 5 are left. There's more somewhere else. And if you're not sure whether it's worth doing or not, you can click the XP thing here. And let's tell her to get out of here. And you'll see sometimes they list, you know, bonus items, how many you've completed, what it will take to get it done. And you can judge yourself. I usually like to do everything. Like, just do it all. When you're in here playing, just do everything so you can get as maximum experience. So we've come from that way. We want to go down this way, an area we haven't been to yet. Okay, so our cleric is a little damaged. Let's get her to cast Cure Moderate Wounds on herself. And then we'll... And we got a restaurant. We don't really need to use it. We could save it for later if we have trouble.
As the second lever is pulled,
I'll do it real quick just to
the rumble of the sealed doors sliding open.
Get my health topped off. About 9 points. I don't want to chug a potion. I have a druid character I like to play, and they have a great little heal over time they can use. It's really convenient. It's really cheap on the spell points. Okay, now we can move on.
As the door opens, you see several humans in chains crouching against the walls.
Okay, great. There's one left. Did we miss one? Nope, they're all disappeared. Maybe we missed one in the other chamber. Let's be sure to check that before we leave this wing. I'm going to zip down here real quick and make sure I didn't miss one. Because I want that optional... additional experience. Okay, what we got? Do we miss one? Yes. There we go. Okay, we're going to go back down to this main corridor now. And let's double check here. We had one of the colored switches here. We threw that one, and I'm pretty sure we threw the other one. So let's go double check that we've got the red-blue door open now. Yep, it's opened. So you don't actually have to open it yourself. to get her healed up again. Don't want her to die. Okay, one door there. Let's just clear this area. Make sure this is okay. It's locked. Okay, it's a treasure room. This will probably be the last room.
As you open the door, a massive bugbear growls and attacks.
The caster. So notice how my hireling is nowhere to be seen. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down the corridor here, and I'm going to release the mouse, and I'll teleport her to me, and then she's back in a fight. So she might get stuck on a ramp when I went to the bear area.
As the chieftain dies, you notice a small ornate key on the table in the far corner of the room.
And that's the key. You can bust these if you want to. And this is the last little treasure room for this one.
The door to the treasury opens with a satisfying click.
Good experience. That's going to be a rogue only unlock. And let's see if we got anything cool here that we could use. Nothing too amazing, but we did get good experience on this. All right, so this is finished. This one's great, simple. Let's go back and see what the final reward is. We'll have to recall twice, once to get out of the actual instance and once to get back to the Keep on the Borderlands. And we've got an enhancement point to apply. We need to get those spell points associated so we can use those elemental arrows. We can only apply these points, these enhancement points, when you're in a town area. So we can't apply them here, I don't believe. Let's just double check. No, we can't apply anything. We've got 2 points we can spend. Recalling doesn't really, it doesn't necessarily reset the big outdoor wilderness zones. So you're thinking to yourself like, oh gosh, I should just run back. Going back and forth isn't really a problem. If you ever enter the zone and it has a reset on it, then you've run it enough where you can reset it, but a lot of times you'll just remember what's going on. You're not going to have a situation where everything respawns all the time and all that. Now remember, there's this dwarf female Varka that actually has a quest hand in. Let's see what kind of things we got here, because we ran it at a higher difficulty. Okay, this is great. So we have a bunch of pieces of gear here that we could use at a later date. Level 4, that would put our AC up by 1. And it doesn't have an exclamation point on it, which means we'll be able to equip all this. So let's go through and see which one will give the most benefit here. That would be 11. The armor bonus would 6. 11 and 6. Then if that situation, and this one here would be what? 10 and 5. Don't care about that. 10 and 5. And 10 and 5. Okay, let's see between these two, which is going to be the best one. Acid resistance or sonic resistance. I'm just going to put acid on there. I have seen a lot of the witch doctor orcs and stuff cast that. And we can't equip this yet because we're not level 4, but now we can put this in our black tab here and save this for a later date. And let's go ahead and pick up one of the next ones. Let's see what this one is here. We'll take some kobolds, no problem. We'll do the kobold caves and deal with them. So we'll cut the video there and we'll do that as the next adventure.